Hello. I want to briefly look at a couple of things Jesus says on the cross, some of his words that he says on the cross. And first of all, we need to understand that the of utmost importance is the cross. Like everything that we believe hangs upon the cross. So if anyone wanted to disprove the faith and God and Jesus, they would try and disprove and discredit the cross, because everything else would then just fall apart. Jesus knows this. It's all been boiling up to this point, which tells me that everything he says is of great importance. Like he doesn't waste his words, doesn't mince his words, and there is probably a deeper level than maybe just a surface level, what we might just read. There's probably a deeper meaning in it. And we're going to look at two things he says. One is, I thirst, and the other one is, my God, why have you forsaken me? Because I do think they're linked. And again, it's the I thirst. You could look at that on the surface level, practical. It's the Middle East. It's hot. He's under a lot of strain and extreme pain and stress as he's pulling himself up to breathe all the time. And so he probably is at a practical level thirsty. But there is a deeper meaning to this. And on both accounts, the I thirst and my God, why have you forsaken me? They are both quotes from Psalm. So I thirst is quote from Psalm 69, and my God, why have you forsaken me is quoting from Psalm 22. So they're both kind of quotes from David, and there's a lot more going on here. If you cast your mind back to the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus uses this kind of image of a cup to represent the kind of the judgment, the wrath of God over sin. He even says in the Garden of Gethsemane, take this cup from me. I don't want it. I don't think I can do this. I'm overcome by the kind of anxiety and the terror, and I'm sweating blood. I don't want to do this. Take this cup from me. Yet, and it's a very big, powerful yet, right, for us. Yet, not my will, but yours be done. And so this kind of analogy of a cup follows him. And then I think we get to the moment where he's on the cross, and he gets to that point, and it's just about to all happen. It's all boiling up to this point, and he says, I thirst. And it's almost like, I am ready. I am submitting to this will that I'm about to receive the judgment for your sin. And then again, we get the second bit, my God, why have you forsaken me? And I think we argue about this because, surely not God would completely leave him on his own in this point. But I do think we seriously undervalue and underplay the cost of sin. Because if we believe God is a perfect God, he cannot be in the same place as sin. They don't mix. And Paul says in 1 Corinthians, he knew no sin, he's talking about Jesus, became sin so that me and you, right? Us, we get to experience the righteousness of God. And it's the most incredible exchange that God was able to live a perfect life, Jesus, lived a perfect life on this earth, and then exchange his righteousness, so his right relationship, his right standing with the Father, for our sin, guilt, and shame. So now when the Father looks at us, he sees Jesus Christ's righteousness. And when he looked at Jesus in that moment, he saw our sin, guilt, and shame. And I do think we underplay the cost of sin. And I don't think it was easy. And I think it cost God everything. I think it broke him apart. But there was that moment where the Father turns his face away. And I think it's amazing of how quickly we can allow the enemy to get us to get away from the truth that it is finished. He has dealt with it. He has done it. We are free. We get relationship with the Father. I get to be called a son, and we get to be called sons and daughters of the King. It's an amazing exchange that happens, and it's been done at a very high price, and yet we still allow the enemy to trick us into, well, you're not really that special. Like God doesn't really love you that much. And, is he going to forgive you because you've done all that bad stuff? And we forget the truth oh so quickly. So I pray as you've been going through and you've been listening to these videos kind of coming up to Easter time, that you just have a fresh revelation of the love of God, that he truly does value you incredibly highly. He paid an exceptionally high price to win you back. And all he wants is a relationship with you. And maybe that's the first time you've heard it. Maybe you've heard it so many times. But I pray that it hits you again, and you start maybe a new journey into what God has for you in the next coming months and years. God bless you guys. We'll see you in the next video.